allow the two children to handle the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind. Off your
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mind. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Mayegun number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun diary Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary Mayegun number one.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. Remember, share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Just tell them. Mayegun today.
Mayegun diary number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary number one. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun diary.
Poverty is not a shameful thing, but not acceptable. Kọlu.
Làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé.
Ó ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Abacha, years after his death, continue to credit Nigerians to debit Nigeria with money from the grave. He continued to dash money to Nigerian looters. It is the turn of Kolu, $150 million from France. Will be returned to Nigeria. And guess who is going to be in charge of that money? Bagudu, the same guy who was Abacha's bagman, the man that helped Abacha to siphon Nigeria's money, is now the budget minister under Pablo Escobar. There is good news. And it is coming from what Kolu is doing with the central bank under Emefiole. Emefiole and Bokwari, they fleeced Nigeria. But some of the billions of dollars that Nigeria currently owes as debt, or those that disappeared without trace, it seems that Dangote, the same quota system billionaire, has been involved all along. Please share the broadcast, read the caption, read the description, okay? Get yourself settled. We are starting in a minute. Motide. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun and it is live. Tinubu held what they called ministers' retreats, where those who are ministers under Kolu will be kind of lectured on how they are going to help Kolu to achieve his renewed shege or renewed hopelessness. In that gathering, Kolu said, although Nigeria currently ranks as the poorest country on earth right now, poverty is not really a bad thing or a shameful thing. At least if you are making efforts to escape poverty. And he was telling his ministers and his appointees, you need to do something, because if you check your own lives and your history, you will see traces of poverty. But look at you today. You have escaped poverty. Use yourselves as a good examples to Nigerians that we have dipped in an intentional poverty. Generational one. Oh. It might sound like, Kolu has been sounding like a motivational speaker anyway. But let's put that aside before we come back to it. The same voodoo economy that destroyed Nigeria under the APC, Egbekegbe, is the same thing that Tinubu and his gang of thieves are doing. But because Nigerians have been proven to be suffering from generational Stockholm syndrome. And most of the time, whenever the truth is staring them on the face, they love to create an alternative reality, and they believe them. But when everything finally kind of explodes, they begin to call on God. God, come and rescue Nigeria. I will do my own little best because God is not coming to rescue you. You are never going to wish yourselves out of a self-inflicted poverty through bad, corrupt rogues that you call leadership, the dealers. Now, let me not sound so kind of, off to you. Here is something. Economic, what you call the voodoo economy. And I'll give you an instance. When this rogue APC, Egbekegbe came in, they started their, as usual, right? They started the criminal adventure with the Central Bank of Nigeria. Now, over the years, as I have said many times on Mayegun's Diary Political, whenever politicians want to deceive you into believing that they understand Nigeria's problems, most of the time, they will tell you that they have all of the solutions to all of Nigeria problems because they created the problems. The moment they have the power, they begin to have, instead of solutions, they will begin to have all kinds of excuses. This is what they do. Now, here is how it all started. Politicians will tell you the reasons why Nigeria Naira is as worthless as a tissue paper in the world today is because there is nothing backing the Nigeria Naira, no production, nothing other than the crude oil of Nigeria. So what were they doing? Normally, the Central Bank of Nigeria is in the best position to provide all of the needed foreign exchange for all Nigerians officially. But here is when the problem started. When these rogues came in, Nigeria foreign reserve was put at $33 billion, something like a credit collateral. So if you have to kind of tell people to come and invest in Nigeria, you can tell them that the giant of Africa has just $33 billion in foreign reserve. But that is just aside. When these rogues came in, right? Nigeria had saved $7.5 billion US dollars in what was called the excess crude account. Now, why am I mentioning all these dollars to you? They were substantial because as corrupt as the PDP criminal gang were, right, they still managed to keep something aside for the rainy day, because that thing they put aside is the lifeline, the insurance that Nigeria Naira depends on. And the moment that is no longer there, Nigeria Naira will become as naked, as naked. You know what nakedness means anyway. So over the years, they have, under these rogues, they attacked that source. The foreign, the crude oil of Nigeria that ends Nigeria Forex was completely depleted by themselves when they bring in different vessels into Nigeria waters, drain Nigeria crude oil and take them out of Nigeria free, at free will. 700,000 barrels of crude oil was being stolen every day, and nobody discovered them. Within 8 years, Nigeria became bankrupt. Meanwhile, there was no single investment in the real and true infrastructure, even when they were borrowing money at ridiculous interest rates for donkey years to be paid back. Imagine Nigerians who are not born right now, those who are yet to be born as Nigerians, they're going to be born into the indebtedness. There are some of the debts of Nigeria that are to be repaid back for 100 years by these rogues, by the way. So they depleted the source of forex for Nigeria, and they invested in nothing. So when they borrowed money for infrastructures, they still stole that to the point that after 8 years, ladies and gentlemen, with the money they borrowed, over 110 billion US dollars, all the projects remain 10, 15, 20% completed. That means majority of them are still far away from completion, because that is the window to continue to what? To loot and budget for them, and loot and budget for them. A recurring decimal. Now, when you have this in place, the first thing you are going to expect somebody to do who really want to help your naira and help your economy. Meanwhile, before I get to that, so some of you who usually feels like it is your wish that you can pray while these criminals gang enough, right? And then open the vault for their own luxury, not for anything productive that will eventually give back hand money apart from crude oil. This is the style. So when they attacked the Central Bank of Nigeria, attacked the Nigerian the economy through their greed, round tripping, those who needed the access to forex were denied access, except for the criminals who are stealing your naira, converting them to dollar. This round tripping and the rest of that completely brought Nigeria to where Nigeria is today, right? But what they were doing in between, right, was that whenever the demand for that dollars rises and then the naira continue to go on and on and on, they will quickly go and source for dollars. Okay, that was when they still used to have it too. They will quickly go and source for dollars and then secretly put them in some banks and make some announcement and say, if you need dollars now, go to the banks. So they were doing all this voodoo economy, because up till now, nothing is still being done to back your naira. Even if it is just your refineries and electricity that they fix, your naira will have something to back it. The demand for those who are bringing those things into Nigeria using dollars will completely cut it off. But who are those behind paying those dollars to those racketeers? Your government. But we'll get to that part, because that is where Dangote comes in now. So what they have done, what they did under Bukwari, Emefiole style, get some dollars, pump them, $1 billion, quickly share that. Before that one finish, at least naira will stay in some place or even go down a bit. Then we can now use that, because Nigerians have been sort of bedeviled with Stockholm syndrome. So they will forget that these rogues met the same naira at 145 naira when they could still manage their greed. But when these ones came, they came as if to say they have an expiry date for Nigeria. When Nigeria is going to expire, they were stealing, they were looting like there was no tomorrow. And those money are currently in the hands of some of those who are still prominent inside this Tinubu's government. So I told you, when they were making move to borrow money, everything they are doing right now is borrow. I told you when they approached the Afrexim Bank for $3 billion, and they said they have intention of reducing the exchange rate, from breaking it down by December. So when they finish the $3 billion, which is pretty much like, okay, tell all your paddy and the rest of them, we are going to provide $3 billion. Now you can begin to ask for your own allocation. Ask yourselves, if the same dollar that went to 1,200 naira, 1,300 naira, just about a week ago, suddenly came down to 990 naira or 1,000 naira to a dollar, how come a bag of rice hasn't changed price? How come everything within the whole space are currently not changing price? Because they won't. Because it is called voodoo economy. Once they exhaust the dollars they've managed to, they borrowed it, they didn't earn it. It is not that Nigeria produced the 3 billion. Oh. There is no record that the money is coming from the sale of crude oil. Those who were stealing your crude oil and sold NNPC, they are still in charge of telling you how much crude oil they sold and how much money they will provide. There is no record of that. Oh. Same way they borrowed money that they want to use palliative to cushion the effect of removing subsidy. And when they borrowed the money, they shared it. It's not producing anything. It's shared. Same way they are approaching, they will give them crude oil. They are not even telling everyone how much crude oil they are going to give to the people that gave them $3 billion. Because according to them, it is not going to be added to the Nigerian debt. They are going to use crude oil to swap for it. Now, if they have started receiving the tranches of their $3 billion, always remember, it is a loan. And when they finish it, when they finish that $3 billion, would they get another one to borrow elsewhere? That is why it is called voodoo economy. And when you look at the robotic voluntary slaves, everything I have told you right now does not make any sense to them. Sure, you understand? But they are still the same people that are going to be asking themselves, how come things are not changing? How comes the prices are not going down? How come we are not getting, why is, if they say they have done this, how come this is not changing? Because what they are showing you is the abracadabra of economics. Nigeria, do you believe that Nigeria produced a $3 billion revenue? And if I ask you from what will you say it is from? Anyway, we'll come back to that. So here is a call having a chat with his ministers. So tonight, the broadcast is always going to be in phases. So let's go back to this phase. We're going to come back to the central bank corruption of the century. But yet, Bokuwari is not in jail. What's that one again? Malamu is not in jail. Adisirika is not in jail. Okay? What's that one's name again? Usman, that woman, the finance minister, she is not in jail. And all of the criminals, in fact, Kiyari, the one at the NNPC, is not in jail. In fact, the rest of them in that NNPC, they are currently not even being investigated. But somehow, like I said, it's not because we believe that anything is going to come out of it. My own picture is to let you see that if you fall for any of their lies, deceit, and the rest of that, fine. But do not forget that if you believe any of their lies, you should begin to see the difference in what you believe. But when you are not seeing difference, they will tell you that all of that effort, the reason why you are not seeing any difference is because there are some enemies of Tinubu who don't want you to enjoy the fruit of his government. But thank God enough for those who still have their brain and mind intact. The decision to know of why things are not changing or they are getting worse and the rest of that, you have all the information you need on this platform. Well, let's go to their gathering where he was talking to them. It is all what salad, blue, bala blue. I wanted to kind of pick few things from that, if you can. And I'll stop there. I'll stop the video once you start getting annoyed. Wow.
Like I said at the opening, we can spend the money, but we cannot spend the people. We have a responsibility to our country to make sure we change completely the narrative about Nigeria. If we have problems, let's talk to one another. Let's have conversations, gentle conversations. about our country. It's not about just leave me alone, I'm going home. You may not have a home. There's nothing you can do successfully without good health care, reduction in poverty. Like I said before, poverty is not a shameful thing, but it's not acceptable. Are we going to dig our people out of it? If you look at your background, no matter how wealthy you are today, there's a trace of poverty in it. So it's left for you and I to navigate this ship out of poverty. We have a lot of work ahead of us. I am confident. Now, with the attendance, concentration, you've seen the quality and the character of ministers. You've seen it. You've seen the demonstration of knowledge from head of service to accountant general and other civil servants. Yes, we the politicians, we are the soldier go, soldier come. We are the permanent secretaries. But we have to live together. You have no choice. I hope that is clear.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Without apology. Meanwhile, I don't know if I should remind any of you who recently joined us on Mayegun's Diary Politico. I mean, I know that we've had a lot of people who recently joined us, okay? So if you are the type who kind of is politically correct, you know, those who love to throw the word respect, culture, tradition, and all those things about, this platform is not for you. You may take your suspicion back. I mean, it's for your own sanity. It's not, there's no hard feeling. No. Do you understand? So we don't do political correctness here. Then we don't do age here. You know what I mean? Like, is he not old enough to be your father? Abulori Brukuni father atieni. Here you understand, that will be the response we'll give to you. Because you know why? On this platform, okay, we have already sort of demystified that myth. But let me explain it to you. Sorry for that digression, brethren, because I just need to say that, because some people will just be like, oh, I'm so disappointed in this guy. I actually thought this guy was this or that, and you know what I mean? Because they just joined, you know? They are the type that will tell you that let us criticize with respect, all those stuff. So that's why I want to quickly address them. Just quickly, 5 minutes. You understand? So on Mayegun's Diary Politico, you cannot come here and be shouting, one Nigeria, they go slap you. Do you understand? Even if you are for one Nigeria, you go wait until you have a chance. You read the room before you jump into any conversation on this platform. Do you get that? Now, for those of you who are always throwing in God, also, this platform is not for you, okay? Because according to us here, we have discovered so many techniques, so many gaslighting techniques that the criminals running and ruining Nigeria have used over the years. Do you understand? We have seen them use the gaslighting word like, I am old enough to be your father. I am rich enough to not steal your money. I am a man of God. You have to respect me. And other nonsense that they have used to deceive and gaslight people. We have respect for those who have respect for us, whether they are young or they are old. That is a normal etiquette of life. You respect everyone. On this platform, we have discovered a long time ago that the criminals ruining Nigeria, old and young, male and female, Muslim, Christian and atheist, northerner or southerner, we have discovered that they have no respect for any Nigerian. You know, if you have respect for people or a country that you have a chance of administering, respect, you would never treat an average Nigerian the way they are treating every one of us. They call us ordinary. Have you forgotten? When they are talking, they will say, we need to remember the ordinary Nigerians. So they've already disrespected us. They denied us all of the good standard of life. They denied us that. They turned us to scavengers, right? And they are proud of what they have done. Now they are asking for respect. Come on. Would you respect people who have disrespected you? Is that a normal thing? To respect those who continually, constantly, and confidently disrespecting you? Would you? Now that's why they don't have any. Now, if you begin to play the card of age on this platform, we have also demystified that nonsense. We discovered that criminals also grow old, just like foolish people also grow old. So you cannot say because you are now older and you are a criminal, proven with facts, and you say, respect me, I'm old enough to be your father. Hello? My father is not a criminal. My father never participated in public looting. Excuse me, you are a criminal, whether you are old or young. On Mayegun's Diary Politico. Do you get that? We also know, and on this platform, we've also demystified those who usually drop God every now and then in the conversation around governance. We discovered that Nigerians who are brainwashed to continue to use God, where they are supposed to use their brains. They didn't arrive at that by themselves. We were conditioned right from our birth, conditioned to believe that even when criminals are looting us face to face, God can change the story to what we want it to be. So it will be like a blasphemy for you to say, leave God out of it. On Mayegun's Diary Politico. Ko baje fun blasphemy. Ko baje fun won were te pe ni pastors. You know why? Because when they start telling you to pray for your leaders, they're actually telling you to pray for criminals to leave. So that's why we said, when you have your God and you have your faith as a Muslim, as a Christian, it is a very good thing, a very private thing. Do not let anybody gaslight you into thinking that your faith in that your God is the same faith that is needed to fix the electricity, to fix the medical care, to fix your infrastructures, to protect the country, and make sure that the young people are indeed gainfully employed and engaged, right? So when you begin to mix God with governance, we quickly tell you, hey, hello, ace. You get that? So if you are the type that you believe so much in God, We are not questioning that. We are not, in fact, denying the existence of God for those who really, really believe. What we are saying is this. Politicians also shout on God. By the special grace of God, a thief is telling you by the special grace of God. A thief can also read the Quran. You know that. These criminals, kidnappers, and the rest of the they can also read the Bible. And if you allow anybody that can quote Bible and Quran, who has an opportunity to run a country, but failed to, decided to ruin the country, if you allow that person to use your relationship with God to judge his own failure and the rest of that, now we are not going to let you drag us into that. And that's why we tell people, keep your God out of it. Please do. And if you feel like you are insulted because of the way we say it, then to hell with you and that your God. Because God is not a magician. God is not going to give you electricity. God is not going to build you roads. The God is not going to chase and then prosecute terrorists. No. God is not going to stop thieves who are changing figures, inflating contracts and budgets in order to siphon your money and grandstand on it. You cannot call God for that. You would have to do it yourself. Now, the courage and the brain to do it yourself is what I preach on Mayegun's Diary Political. So you can't blackmail me. You get that? You can't gaslight me. You cannot use God. You cannot use age. You cannot use home training to gaslight me when I'm talking about the criminals. Because I know those I'm talking about. And they are enablers. Do you understand? You can't use those. Because if you think I lack home training, I was not brought up properly, my parents didn't train me well. Hello? If I ask you, who are the parents of these criminals who are ruining Nigeria? Who knows that the money meant for building hospitals, that they are now using the money to buy properties in Dubai, and millions of people who are supposed to have access to medical care, including children, will be denied. They will be denied those opportunities. Now, do you get that? You can't tell me that they were trained, their parents taught them how to be thieves, how to be cold-hearted, how to be murderers, how to be genocidists, how to be unpatriotic. Abi, don't be the Nigeria those who are ruining Nigeria, they have parents too, Abi. Their parents are like my own parents, Abi. So my own parents trained me, Abi. Their own parents trained them. Now they have the opportunity of making a country great, making the lives of their own citizens better. They choose otherwise. Now, if me is reacting to that, you are saying I lack home training. Who trained those ones? Who trained these people? Your governors, your senators, your local government chairmen, your ministers, your commissioners, the thieves that you know. Which home did they train them from? Better home? Is that why you have a better country? So please, you can't gaslight me. If you are new on Mayegun's Diary Political, you are welcome. In fact, if you have a soft spot for them, that is yours. All I have to care about is your conscience. On Mayegun's Diary Political, you cannot gaslight us with one Nigeria. No, you can't. Because we know there is no one Nigeria. You cannot tell us to come and pray. We should come together. You are deceiving yourself. You can't do that with us. I mean, if you are new, you know why you can't? We know there is no one Nigeria. There are many Nigerias. Conduct a poll among Nigerians and tell them, would they support an Igbo man to be president of Nigeria? Come back with the results and tell me you are shocked. I am shocked. Because you are pretending all this while. There is no one Nigeria. You have many Nigerias. And that's why it is not working. And that is why it will never work. The only way it will work for all of us is the day we stop deceiving ourselves and we decide that, okay, can we have that chat? Can we have that conversation? I mean, for the first time since colonization, since independence, can we even ask these over 200 ethnic nationalities? can we ask this group of people, tribes, who speaks over 500 languages, if they really want to be together? I will be one of the generation that will continue to put that in your mind. And I'm not going to be against whatever you actually think is going to fix Nigeria. When you try them and you fail, you will remember Mayegu. Therefore, you can't gaslight me. You can't gaslight anybody. You can't even, there's no way you can. Let's go back to that retreat where Kolu is also talking. New sans leleyi, because àwọn new sans ló ń rule Nigeria, tí wọ́n ruin in Nigeria. Continue to take side. You will come to your own reality too, like others before you. Sooner or later. Let's go back to that retreat. He's still there yapping.
And focus on the progress of our nation. It is through this that we can be truly proud. I am proud standing before you. I'm very, very proud of every one of you. And I am proud of myself too. I went for election. I won with your support. They took me to court. I won. You have been here. Thank you very much. So we've been here, we've tinkered and tweaked focus areas. Area 1, reform the economy to deliver sustained inclusive growth. 2, strengthen national security for peace and prosperity. Boost agriculture to achieve food security. Unlock energy and natural resources for sustainable development. Enhance infrastructure and transportation as enablers of growth. Focus on education, health, and social investment as essential pillars of development. Accelerate diversification through industrialization, digitization, and creative industry, manufacturing, and innovative technology. I could hear two of the minister, Naji, say the satellite is gone. But we say satellite is here. I like that. At least we are thinking. We are deep in what we are trying to achieve. That's a demonstration of knowledge. And I am sitting there as the chairman of Boundary Dispute Commission. It's just too interesting. And I know all of you are, you achieved the goal to end this retreat today because you want to be away for the weekend. No, not because you've exhausted the topic, but the only way to make it happen is to say, hey, we might extend this thing to Saturday or Sunday. So once they're here, they will do the job. I am glad you are doing it. And you've done it. So, today, I thank all of you.
Let's just leave it at that. Okay? So, as usual, just talk. All talk. And no real plan other than the usual, okay? But if for some reasons you believe otherwise, I love something called time. It will reveal everything. You cannot use words to fix a broken system. You would have indeed to show working whereby you are not wasteful too. So when you have people who are practically wasteful, but telling you they are actually doing it, they have a program, they have this, they have that is coming. No, they have nothing that is coming. And only time will tell, right? Because it is already telling. I mean, Abi? Right. But like I said, there is some good news on the horizon. It is not to your own interest, but it's good to know. Okay? Yesterday, a French delegation visited Kolu, and they told him, we currently have 150 million US dollars of Abacha's loot that we would like to give back to Nigeria. We just need you to do the final paperwork and then we'll pay you the money. So immediately people started reacting. How much gongon did Abacha loot? Like, why is it that almost every government since Abacha died has been receiving Abacha loot? Like, how much gongon did he? I mean, during the Abacha time, Nigeria was under different sanctions, okay, including financial sanctions against Abacha, against Nigeria. But the same Western countries of power that sanctioned Nigeria, how come they managed to welcome Abacha loot, as in Nigeria money, into their country? How much go be the money? But because Nigeria is a crime scene, every penny of Abacha's returned loot has been relooted by successive government that received the money. Nobody among us here can say they can point out what they used any of Abacha loot for in Nigeria today. Can you? Can anybody tell me? Because I may not really be in the know. I am not in the know of any. To say, oh, and Abacha, who died in 1998, Abacha, who died in 1998, from 98 to 2008, 2018, that's like 25 years ago. Nigeria has no clue of how much he actually embezzled from Nigeria. And I have it here on record that at least so far so good, more than 8 to 9 billion US dollars of Abacha loot has been returned to Nigeria. Abdul Salami collected, Obasanjo collected, Yaradua collected, Jonathan collected, even Bokuwari of APC, Egbekegbe, they themselves got at least over $4 billion Abacha loot, Buhari alone. And that was why Malamu, the Attorney General of Nigeria under Bokuwari, had to pull up a very audacious scam by hiring lawyers that they were the ones who drafted the whole agreement that was already concluded before these rogues came in. The money was being prepared to be, to be transferred to Nigeria. Malamu put lawyers together, and the lawyers said they were going to take 18% of the total money of Abacha loot, and they took it. And we are talking about tens of millions of dollars that went straight into the hands of these rogues under Malamu. It is Tinubu's turn. The whole kind of irony here now is this, because Nigeria is a crime scene. There was a guy who got caught as the ringleader of those who were moving money for Abacha during those years. His name is Atiku Bagudu. Abubakar Atiku Bagudu. So Atiku Abubakar Bagudu made a deal with Obasanjo that it will show where Abacha loots were. If Obasanjo, and as well as the American government, who was actually in charge of that money at the time, if they would agree to his conditions to tell them where the money were, it was going to be paid 20% of the money, and it was going to be given immunity from prosecution or trial. It would not be held responsible for those crimes of helping Abacha to move Nigeria money. He got the deal. Under Obasanjo, Obasanjo got over 2 billion from Abacha loot when Obasanjo was in government, which means when Nigeria got like 2 billion, Abubakar Bagudu got probably over 40 million, if not 400 million as well. Yeah, like $400 million from the 2 billion. 20%. Do you understand? So he became rich enough to join PDP, then join APC, became governor. And since that time, since he was never prosecuted or tried for anything, so in case if this one pops up tomorrow and they say, no, he's now a minister under Pablo Escobar. So when that money comes, person will help loot Nigeria money is now the Minister of Budget and National Planning, is the one who is going to spend the money. He is not the Minister of Finance, so he is not the central bank, but he is the one that is going to infuse figures. And when they want to spend the money, they will call for it. What an irony. And you are expecting what? You are expecting a working country very soon. Here he is, defending Tinubu and the Yacht that was being controversial. Shemeka tells you, do you know that that Yacht, that 5 billion naira Yacht, has been delivered already? Somebody said here 2 days ago that Mayegundi are still going to buy that Yacht, and I agreed with them. But what we didn't know was that they've already took the delivery. Now they are complaining that the House of Rep that removed the Yacht money and put it on education, they have created a problem. They have created a problem because now they need to pay for the Yacht. Baba, Abubakar Bagudu.
The conviction that it takes a team, and team, every member of cabinet is a stakeholder, is equal to the other, and needs to appreciate what is happening in all MDAs so that he or she can contribute effectively. Mr. President have emphasized it repeatedly, and equally presentations by experts have shown that the key things that have been of difference between countries that achieve growth and those who do not is that they have a plan and they stick to a plan. And I believe that has resonated with this, and this is something which our ministry is always in the leadership and forefront of emphasizing. Yesterday, in my comments, I said 3 things in the panel discussion. First, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, during the campaigns, have repeatedly emphasized the urgency to tackle security. And not surprisingly, 30% of the supplementary budget is for the defense sector. Equally, he has spoken about the need to support vulnerable populace and keep promises. Equally, 30% of the supplementary budget is also on the on palliatives, 400 billion cash awards, 200 billion, cash transfers, and 200 billion cash awards. Equally, infrastructure, about 25% of the supplementary budget is infrastructure. So there you have it, about 85% is in these three areas. The mischaracter.
Abacha's bagman. Now, one thing I have been sort of wondering is this. Even though we don't know how much Abacha stole, I think a lot of those who have looted Nigeria in the last 24 years, they probably have more than whatever Abacha stole individually. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying individually. You have people who probably have stolen more than 10 billion, 15 billion worth of Nigeria assets in the last 24 years. And they will never cough out that money because they've never been tried or they are not dead. They will continue to what? To take as whatever it is that is available until probably Nigeria completely go bellicose like that. So that is the Abacha bagman. And how much is $150 million to these rogues? The guys that are cornering billions, hundreds of billions of US dollars. And this is not even like an exaggeration. I'll give you one instance. Under Goodluck Egbere Jonathan, those who were stealing Nigeria crude oil, not as massive as this. So then they said Nigeria was losing between 45,000 and 60,000 barrels of crude oil every day, 2010 to 2014. Somehow they did an investigation and they discovered that about 200,000 to 300,000, about 2 to 3 million barrel of barrel of crude oil stolen from Nigeria was traced to China. It became an issue. But by the time the conclusion of that issue was to come, Jonathan was gone. Bokuwari was in. Malamu was the Attorney General, Minister of Justice. So he took over the case. Instead of being on the side of Nigeria, dear patrioty, Abi brethren, the money came to somewhere around, somewhere around the 2.8 billion US dollars, kind of, or about $3 billion. So they decided to settle. Till today, people are still asking, where is the money that they got from that discovered stolen crude oil 8 years ago? Where is the money? Gone. So I can give you instances upon instances upon instances of those who are currently in charge of Nigeria today who probably stole more than Abacha. And here we are from the world beyond. Nigeria plutocrats. Sonny Abacha from the ancestral world is giving Nigeria pocket money in this, economic hardship, which kind of, it's like everlasting. It's never ending. Right. So Abacha gave Nigeria $150 million. And I can't say Nigerians, I'm going to say the looters in Nigeria. And that's exactly what that is. But there is a bigger issue. It is not in your interest too. So I'm not going to ask you to kind of breathe a breath of fresh air. It is just to further help you how Nigeria is fucked. Put it that way. We all know that Dangote, the quota system billionaire, has enjoyed a lifelong monopoly to the point that he said he was starting a refinery. Since Nigeria, the giant of Africa, couldn't maintain a refinery or maintain refining their own crude, and the country is being bled to death by the greedy ruiners of Nigeria, who kind of open the floodgates of like a drain pipe kind of where Nigeria's scarce resources will be sort of buried. Now, Dangote, who I can say is Nigeria's enemy number one. I have said that many times, and I have presented the economic proof of this. However, if you have been following the back forth of Bua, Rabiu, and then Aliko. So Rabiu is the one in charge of Bua, which is the guy on the left. Dangote, the quota system richest black man from Nigeria. To others, they will say probably he's a devil incarnate. No. Now, what I'm about to share with you is not, it has nothing to do with these two guys and their fight. It is actually about Nigerians who are the victims of a rigged country. They are supposed to be brothers from Kano and all that. Now, here is the story. Okay. So, Dangote, who enjoys monopoly of everything he is interested in Nigeria, recently, or well, not recently per se, about 5-6 years ago, said that he was building a refinery and he is managed to get investors who are going to put down money and others who are going to loan them money to build this refinery. And it was going to be the biggest in the world. That was the PR stunt. A lot of Nigerians who showed kind of, who were so skeptical. Oh, he's going into oil production. Now they would have to shut everywhere down for him. And all of those things that people said. Others were like, I mean, come on. It's going to be like a private company that, at least for the first time, maybe Nigeria can actually, have something that is long lasting, that is not in any way laced with corrupt money or corrupt people. Okay. Something that people, some were skeptical, some were optimistic, and others were like indifferent because now Nigeria, forget it. But we didn't know it was a grand scheme put together by Buhari and Dangote. We didn't know. However, this Dangote refinery's idea, like I said, was an idea muted around one big businessman who controls 1/4 of Nigeria's stock exchange. Somebody who kind of like, you know what I mean? He's capable. He could do it. And it was going to cost how much? He could do it. So they launched it under Jonathan. Okay. Nothing happened per se. So when Bokwari came in, they now activated their grand scheme of how to fleece Nigeria. Over time, we have had allegations of public officials, politicians using this same Dangote to launder their money, stolen money. Some were presented, some were given shares inside Dangote. Others were just they just handed over their stolen money to Dangote. And because it is Dangote, somebody will get your own special office and special table inside the Nigeria Central Bank. He was a quota system billionaire, remember? Okay. What was the grand scheme? What was the plan? The Dangote Refinery was going to be financed by Nigeria, but it wasn't going to be presented as being financed by Nigeria. It's going to be a backdoor arrangement. Nigerians won't know, and it can be done as quick as possible, and everybody involved, all of them will have their own share, and then just like nothing happened, Dangote will deliver refinery, and everybody will put that behind them. And since Dangote Refinery can begin to work, a lot of people won't ask questions anymore. Even if they do ask questions, well, at least there is Dangote Refinery. Ladies and gentlemen, people are supposed to be sentenced to death for treason, starting from Bokwari and everyone involved. These guys went as far as withdrawing Nigerian foreign reserve and handed it over to Dangote. And it is not a joke. Central Bank of Nigeria was mopping up dollars as soon as they can get them. Sometimes they will print money and then use them to replace the dollars and make it look like Dangote bought them. They didn't tell Nigerians that they were giving him money. They didn't tell anybody. Dangote was presented as somebody who was getting the money from some banks in Europe and other places. That wasn't true. I was one of those who raised the alarm. I presented the patri evidence I had based on the confession of all of these guys themselves. But of course, for those who will remember, it never really changed anything. When Nigeria was bleeding and they were depleting everywhere, Dangote was actively involved. And because Emefiole was given so much free hand, he also got other people involved. Okay? They were opening different bank accounts where they were putting all this money, giving them different titles. Majority of them ended up in the hands of Dangote because he is building refinery. They rewrote all of their policies on petroleum industry in Nigeria for Dangote. They said once he built the refinery, he won't be buying the Nigerian crude oil in dollars. He will be buying it in naira. And listen to this. It would have been a great idea to say Nigeria under Bokwari, they invested so much money in order to bring something that will eventually contribute hugely to the Nigeria economy. And in the long run, Nigerians will be the beneficiary of that. Something you can say, Mayegun, is that not an investment? But it wasn't done in good faith. Dangote wanted the refinery. Great. We'll give you money. We're also going to use you to launder the stolen money in that process. As we are handing you some of the millions and billions, we are going to be transferring some others too in your name, and it's all going to be traced to the refineries. Are you all right with that? Since they are the ruiners and the scarcity you are all suffering from today, including the scarcity that has created the bump, a jump in your crude oil, in your petroleum pump price from 87 naira to 142 naira to 165 naira, from there to 615 or so naira today. Now, all of these were policies somehow they believed were to prepare Dangote, the quota system businessman, a soft landing. May I explain that one to you in case if that doesn't come clearer enough? Here was the plan. If they were selling a barrel of crude oil, for example, for $100, and if you continue to have so much demand on dollars, especially from those who are oil marketers, so dollars and naira will continue to fall, dollars will continue to rise. So in order to reduce that, they said you were going to give Dangote 600,000 barrels of crude oil every day. So if Dangote is getting 600 barrels of crude oil every day and refining same, they expect that will cut the demand for importation of petrol, diesel, and all of that. It will cut the importation down by at least half. That was their plan. So if the demand for dollars to bring petrol and diesel to Nigeria is high, or let's say is cutting to half, it simply means whatever available forex or dollars will be made available for that 50% demand. And if the demand is cut by half, naira stand a chance of at least gaining against the dollar. That was their plan. Dangote will be their saving grace. Now, that didn't happen. Dangote couldn't deliver, even though they have planned that, we are going to remove subsidy. We are going to reduce demand on dollars. And as for yourself, we are going to be giving you 600,000 barrels. But here is what the quota system will not let you know. If a barrel of crude oil is sold for $100,000, does that mean if the exchange rate, for example, is beat down because Dangote is getting half, is beat down to 600 naira to $1, She Dangote will pay 600 naira to $1 exchange on $100 of a barrel, which simply means if you exchange 600 by $100, that should give you 60,000 naira to $100, Abi. Now, if Dangote is getting 600,000 barrels, is he going to be buying the barrels at the rate of 60,000 naira per barrel, which will be equivalent to Central Bank of Nigeria's official rate of 600 naira? Let's use their own technique. They never told Nigerians that. No, that is not how quota system work. Because when they handed Dangote, God knows how much, billions, they are saying $3.8 billion now. Tinubu's investigation just revealed that Emefiole, with the authorization of Buhari, Emefiole handed Nigeria's money, $3.8 billion to Dangote for his refinery, while they were fine-tuning their policies, including removing subsidy from fuel, Sure, you understand? So that when Dangote Refinery is ready, they will make more naira instead of paying more dollars to bring petrol to Nigeria. They will keep all of the dollars they get, and they will keep. So the question is, did they agree that Dangote will be paying 60,000 naira per barrel if they succeed in that permutation? There is nowhere that is written. They only said Dangote will buy in naira. They did not say how much is that naira per barrel. You see that 3.8 billion they said they found that Buhari gave to gave to Dangote. That 3.8 billion, they have used that money to give shares to all of these your criminal leaders, including senators. Apart from giving Dangote that free money, and he's not going to pay it back, they have used that to give shares, Dangote Refinery shares, to your politicians, their family members. The problem was that Dangote no deliver refinery. And there is problem now. Where is the money? Where is the refinery? They said Dangote has been asking to see Tinubu since May. Not just since May, before they swear for Tinubu and shitty man. They said Dangote has been making efforts to see Tinubu, because the Dangote that all of us know, whenever they are exchanging dollar for 200 naira to a dollar, Dangote, they get his own dollar from central bank for 20 naira, 25 naira to a dollar. So if you are a businessman, Dangote already has an edge over you. Sure, you get that. Is why we call him quota system billionaire, who loves and enjoys monopoly, the monopoly of the criminals in government. Is the warehouse of the money launderers, the real yahoo in Nigeria. He has been like that for over 30 years. 30 years. So if you are a businessman and you go to the bank, the same central bank, and you want to change your money, where you are spending hundreds of billions of naira to get millions of dollars, Dangote will be spending tens of millions of naira to be getting hundreds of millions of dollars. That's why we call him quota system billionaire. If he is interested in your own line of business, the end to that your business is close. He is not a businessman. He is a quota system popped up billionaire or businessman. He doesn't compete. Dangote doesn't compete. If you think it's about money, bribe anyone and everyone in government. The seat of power will issue one single statement that will wrap up your business and everything that makes you exist in a space of 24 hours. That was where the Bua guy comes in. Dangote wanted to see Tinubu because they are hearing that Emefiele has made some confession. He has given some statements. He has released some documents to Tinubu. You know, Emefiele has been in jail or locked up this while, yeah? There is actually a committee put together to investigate the Central Bank of Nigeria. What they have found is gravely. But because the intention is not, to punish those involved. The intention is not to recover those loots. The intention is to understand how it happened so that Tinubu can begin to ask for his own share and put his own guys who are going to now monitor this and make himself benefit from the rot as well. It's not because of you, because if it's all about you, Bokwari will not be in his house in Daura right now. He will be in prison. And I'm not joking. At least you would have more than 100 people who are either minister, special advisor, who worked in central bank, whether they are a consultant or what have you, including emirs, senators, they would have been arrested by now. But it's all selective. But Dangote is now feeling like he is a target. Why? Bua, that Rabiu guy, this guy on the left, in 1991, they said Nigeria was facing the crisis of sugar shortage. There was no sugar in Nigeria. Dangote and his own uncle, Dan Tata, they were involved in all this commodity trade and all of that anyway. So sugar, grain, and everything like that. But they still couldn't match up. That was when this guy came to prominence. This Bua guy, Rabiu. It was from his own warehouses across Nigeria that they could see substantial amount of sugar to sort of cushion the effect of that shortage that year. So you know what happened? Bua said, immediately they were kind of shot to that national limelight. Dangote approached them and offered to buy the sugar from them. In fact, there is actually a statement released, but I'm not going to bore you with all of what is in there. I'll give you the summary. That Bua guy is close to Tinubu. Here you get. And Dangote is now suspecting that Bua guy, who is also building his own refinery in Akwa Ibom, his own refinery is supposed to be at least 1/3 size of that of Dangote. He has been building his own refinery without any money from Nigeria government. 200,000 barrels a day capacity refinery. 100 megawatt of electricity powered refinery in Akwa Ibom. Very close to where he's going to get his own resources. He's made his own deal, and Dangote, the quota system billionaire, is now feeling like Tinubu's government, through the investigation of Emefiole, they were going to ask him to cough out all of the money they collected from a Central Bank of Nigeria. And there is no money anywhere anymore. Dangote Refinery, that they have been using propaganda to tell you that it was going to be ready in 2019, 2020. They said it was coronavirus. That is why it wasn't going to be ready in 2020. They shifted it to 2022. Then they shifted it again to 2023. And in May 2023, Bokwari was flown there, and a lot of them were there. They were cutting the tape of Dangote Refinery that is now completed. They were commissioning a 25% plant called Refinery, and they know that a place that has cost Nigeria Nigeria over $10 billion, over $10 billion that cannot be accounted for. It has become a complete failure. They tried to see if they could make something up, but it didn't work. So that is why Dangote left a 7-page editorial in different Nigerian newspapers that Bua is against his business. He has been doing everything to blackmail him. He has been going to Tinubu to tell Tinubu that politicians under Buhari, they used Dangote Refinery to launder money, that Dangote is involved in money laundering, that he cannot account for those billions of dollars. Remember, on the day of the launch of Dangote Refinery, Emefiole said Dangote has paid back 70% of the money they gave to him to open the refinery. I remember coming on to Mayegun's Diary Politico. One, to tell you that there is no Dangote Refinery anywhere is a ruse, is a scam. And somehow, it is about to be exposed. I said that at that time. And I said, could you please tell me how a business that took a loan from Central Bank of Nigeria without Nigerians knowing, but on the day of the launching of the supposed refinery, the Central Bank Governor of Nigeria announced that the refinery that is here to actually refine a bottle of petrol, 1 liter of petrol, or 1 liter of diesel, has paid back 70% of the loan. How? I remember then they said the opponents that are currently jumping up and down, that God gave them vision, that Nigerian naira is going to gain against the dollar, and Nigerians will begin to smile from February. The Afofungbemus, the opponents that you can say the ombud slavery or voluntary slavery, they said, you don't wish Nigeria well. Why is it that any good news about Nigeria is always making you Mayegun, you have something to say about it? Can't you just be happy? I said, I don't celebrate fraud. When you know something is fraud, you don't celebrate fraud, because the consequences of celebrating fraud is that when you finish eating the lie, the truth, finally staring you on the face, you will look so stupid and foolish. That's what you look like. And I don't like looking foolish or stupid. Do you understand that? So it didn't take long. Dangote Refinery is going to start work at the end of June. You enemy of progress of Nigeria, shame on you. This is November 2023. And I, Mayegun, is still telling you, not 24, not 2025, not 2026, you are not getting any Dangote Refinery from anywhere. Because the purpose of funding Dangote Refinery was not it wasn't a project funded by business interest. It was funded by looted money from the treasury of Nigeria. They depleted Nigeria treasury. Hello, these guys emptied. They used Nigeria foreign reserve, $33 billion US foreign reserve. They use it as a collateral to collect cash from American lenders. Cash of $30 billion. Up to this moment, nobody knows what they did with that $30 billion. This is not like borrowing. Sure you get. They use Nigerian foreign reserve. Today, the giant of Africa has less than $2 billion in a foreign reserve. There is no chance or grace that Nigeria is going to save any money to push that up if things continue like this, which they are going to continue like this. For Nigeria to be able to even save any money, people have to go to jail. I mean, real jail, including this Dangote. But it's twisting it. It's making you believe that some people are coming after his business. And this Bua guy is going to be the beneficiary. And it is not good for Nigeria if they bring him down. That will be the first one. I won't be surprised if Kolu will have the ball. Because for Dangote to go to jail for all of his crime against Nigeria and Nigerians and Nigeria economy, and all of his collaborators and all this, for him to go to jail, they'll probably rather just plan a coup and remove Tinubu. That didn't come from the blue, so it comes from my own deeper, thoughts, the real thinking. Because if they want to really flush Nigeria, I'm not saying they can, because they want to. But if they really want to, sure you get, Dangote will be sleeping in Kuje prison by tomorrow evening. Now, he's accusing that guy of trying to destroy him. So the guy said, Dangote, who came to his own factory at the time, now see if I can read this one back to you. Now, everything looked tiny. So this is from that Bua guy, okay? I just give you just some dose of it, right? So the guy said, It was with a profound sense of responsibility and a heavy heart that we address the claims and very cheap attempts at blackmail leveled against Bua by Aliko Dangote in a recent 7-page editorial following months of sponsored campaign of calumny against us using third-party platforms. In August 1991, a young Bua was doing his commodity trading business just as Nigeria faced a scarcity of sugar. As sugar was scarce, Bua was lucky to be one of the few with any stock for sale, any stock for sale. And we stood prepared to supply the nation's need as best as our stock could. It was during this period Aliko Dangote approached us to purchase sugar. If only we knew, it was setting the first of many traps in our business history. He gave us a Societe Generale Bank of Nigeria check, which bounced upon presentation to the bank. Unbeknown to us, this was a ruse that would lead to a court-sanctioned freeze of our assets orchestrated by Dangote. For 3 agonizing months, our accounts were garnished, warehouses shuttered, and our spirit tested. Now, fast forward to a few years later, we decided that since we were making good progress in our various businesses, we should open a sugar refinery. We approached one Usman Dantata, now late, Aliko Dangote's uncle, and leased his NPA, Nigerian Port Authority waterfront land, 4 to 5 acres, at the Tinkan Island Port, Polo House. We took the land, signed an agreement with the consent of NPA, and paid all applicable dues. Dangote waited until our contractors and equipment had been mobilized to the site. Then he went to former President Obasanjo. President Obasanjo had the land revoked entirely and gave the lease to Dangote. As a result, even his uncle lost the land. Bua was only given 24 hours to vacate the land. So, it took us a year to get another land. How? Our survival as a business, especially our Lagos Sugar Refinery is a legacy handed to us by a loving father who, seeing his son's distress, did what only the noblest and kindest of hearts could do. With unwavering faith, our chairman's late father, blah, 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 go on. So, our businesses continued to surge forward amid several other attempts. Too many to mention now. In 2007, under President Yaradua's visionary mandate to broaden Nigeria's cement industry and break the monopoly in the sector, BOA was among the 6 companies selected and granted their licenses. Our approach was unconventional but effective. We introduced a floating terminal, BOA Cement. Are you watching, right? You can still take a moment to like the broadcast. Okay, I'm reading that text on your screen. Okay, the one you saw on your screen earlier. So it's so tiny, so I'm reading from my phone. Okay, so yeah, it said what followed. After the BOA Cement, he said what followed, however, was another act intended to drive us out of business. Our application to dock the floating terminal in Lagos met with resistance. We then decided to berth the ship at the terminal owned in Lagos, in Port Harcourt. Despite this, we faced considerable pushback, and it took the decisive intervention of late President Yaradua, who directed that the Minister of Transportation and the Chairman of NPA honor our right to contribute to the nation's growth. But the orders didn't end there. The drama intensified when Owe Brown, a deputy comptroller general who was also an older brother to a Dangote staff, launched a sudden strike, attempting to deport our vessel's entire expatriate crew. It was a Friday, and that is forever seared into our memory. The shock of our expatriates rounded up their confusion as they were shepherded onto a Dangote-funded one-way local flight from Port Harcourt to Lagos en route Asia via Emirates. Upon hearing of what had happened, we reached out to Tanimu Yakubu, the then chief of economic advisor, who acted with the urgency that the situation demanded. His call to the CG, Controller General of Immigration, was a lifeline, and our expatriate team was brought back from the Emirates aircraft and not deported. The aftermath was swift action by the president, who ensured that such a misuse of power would not go unchecked. DCG Brown, Deputy Comptroller General Brown, caught in a tangle of undue influence, admitted what he did to the minister, and he was later dismissed. Through all this tribulation, Bua's resolve has only strengthened. This event narrates not just the trials of a company, but the resolve of his people bound together by blah, 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 blah. However, he said, we also know what transpired whilst we were building our Edo cement plant. Everyone knows the issues we faced. The plant we are operating in Edo would not have been operating and contributing immensely to the economy if not for the former President Buhari, who had to intervene by calling Governor Obaseki that, no staff must lose their jobs and the plant must not be shut down, no matter what happens. We cannot say more as the matter is currently sub-judice, like in court, and it's at the Supreme Court. During the time, Edwin Devakumar and Sunday Esan, two long-time and current staff of Dangote, were caught in leaked emails whose contents were not limited to sending thugs to foment trouble, close our factory, as well as pushing bad press against us. Same thing happened again with our Port Harcourt sugar refinery, and on and on. However, here he said, for over 32 years, we have been cast as the antagonist in a narrative woven with malice. We have not just survived. He said, we have thrived, expanding our operations and contributing to Nigeria's economy without resorting to subterfuge. To Mr. Dangote and the Dangote Group, we say, let us build, not belittle. Let us cultivate, not conquer. While we may share the marketplace, we need not share malice. We have nothing to do with your self-inflicted issues. Blame no one but yourself. In closing, we at BUA remain committed to blah, 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 blah. So the issues there is that Dangote, after dipping his hand into Nigeria's cookie jar with the permission of Bokwari and Emefiole, there are people who are defending Bokwari. They said Bokwari didn't know. There are people who said that this whole thing is between Emefiole and Dangote. They fleeced Nigeria. And Dangote is now saying that Tinubu is investigating the Central Bank of Nigeria. Is being sponsored by BUA. The question is, Dangote, did you collect $3.8 billion from the Central Bank of Nigeria? And what was the condition of that loan? Did you pay 70% of that money back, truly, or you didn't? If you didn't, and you agreed with Emefiole, who told the public that you have paid the money back, then you should prepare to pay the 3.8 billion back. Nigeria is sinking. Nigeria, okay, maybe they will even lose the money anyway. So yeah, just give it back instead of blaming others. I would say right now, they are saying that Dangote is having problem with paying in Naira for Nigeria crude oil. I said they will tell you many, many stories. But this BUA guy, his own refinery is going to be ready in 2024. I'm not saying you should 100% believe him or not. But again, you can actually believe him in the sense that there is no record of him collecting the quota system exchange rate from the Central Bank of Nigeria. So, is it going to be Kalu that is finally going to put an end to Dangote's fraudulent existence that never ever in any way contributes or anything to Nigeria economy. Any positive thing, he has been exploitative. Their own kind of capitalism. Some people will say it's a crony capitalism. Crony capitalism is when the few people decided to live off the resources of the entire country and they are sharing it and rotating it among themselves. Well, you might say that's crony capitalism. My own is that this is chronic, atlas capitalism. If you are looking at America, where you have thousands, tens and tens of thousands of multimillionaires who make their money, and somehow, they make their money from the economy that is fully capitalist. Now, if you compare the life of those who live in America and those who live in Nigeria, would you confidently say now the same capitalism, where atlas people would rather leave their people in darkness, in penury, in poverty, and they can continue to parade themselves as billionaires, multi this or that, billionaires among millions, 200 million poor people, extremely poor people. Can't you see how the system is rigged? That's not chronic capitalism. It is chronic, atlas capitalism. No wonder when these guys decided to stage their own displeasure over what they call legitimization of Tinubu's crime by the Supreme Court of Nigeria. So they are sticking out and say, no, we are not going to be part of it. Now, you see this on this platform. We acknowledge the existence of so many groups. We have the Buhari Danes, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungo Ziaris, the Unekaharis. You have the sophisticated morons, humbled slaves, and obedient fools. You have, we have the Sai barbarians, you have the Bat idiots, and then you have the Agbadorians, you have the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all risers, and on and on. We even have the Oshogbo Alimajiris plus the Lagos Abobakus. We acknowledge everybody in their tomfoolery. Okay? We also know that even though many people have been doing everything possible to escape from the shithole that these rogues have bestowed on us, they left Nigeria, but Nigeria did not leave them. They are cold-hearted. People who have no sympathy, no empathy, not really different from the punishers called leaders. That they left Nigeria does not really mean Nigeria left them. Some of them, in their wickedness, they are the motivational speakers, motivating the humbled slaves, the voluntary slaves, the conditional slaves living in the hellhole called Nigeria. They are those who are telling the people who are the victims of the consequences of horrible, heartless, wicked leadership that has ruined lives, businesses, families, and continue to do so with reckless abandon. They tell them, don't worry. One day it's going to be better. Rome was not built in a day. These are the cold-hearted, non-empathetic Olori Burukus that escaped from Nigeria, but they will never live in Nigeria anymore. They love it. If you are poor, they would like to have somebody to say, I used to be like you. I mean, even though they are not really better than you, they only escape the hellhole. Their lives are still pretty much like a hell. Even outside Nigeria, we have names for them. You can either call them the Abrodian Abobakus, or you can call them the Bele Lectuasi, the Mumu Lectuasi, the Mumu Madus. The Mumu Madus are those ones who have been living abroad for a very long time. Most of them, they left Nigeria when Nigeria had 12 states, Gongola states, Bendel states. I am talking about 40, 50, 35 years ago. They left Nigeria for a better life, but they've had wasted, useless lives to the point that they couldn't go back to Nigeria. They would die in a space of a few weeks or months. You know why? They are already waste, dredge, old, weak, senile, but they are abroad relying on the social system of countries that work. Okay? If they should leave those places, till we meet to part no more than here. So they stayed abroad. And they are telling those of you whose lives, whose future are being ruined, mortgaged, siphoned, gambled to endure. It go better. Or more 30 years, they look like a person who don't turn 55. You are just 25, you bros. Look at your face. Check that mirror. You they look like a person who don't cross a 60. Young people are aging in a country where older people who have ruined their future are not letting go. Those ones abroad are telling you, you are too much in a hurry. Because they want to tassel already. Their own lives have already been kind of gone shook or wherever they are. Many of them have no real family anymore. So Bokuwari is a punisher. Okay, those are the Mumu Madus. The Mumu lecturers, majority of them left Nigeria. They said they wanted to go and do PhD in Kosovo. Who no say now how to escape from Nigeria you find. I want to go and do PhD in languages in America visa. I want to go and do a PhD in this and that. They plan to just get out of Nigeria and never get back. Now they got out of Nigeria. The mentality of what actually kept them as slaves in Nigeria, who said chance of escaping that slavery was the moment like a dead clock. That moment that their brain comes to normal, telling them that the nonsense they are supporting is going to keep them perpetually impoverished. So they decided to escape from Nigeria. After leaving Nigeria, Mumu lecturers, then read, that they wear tie, that they speak English, sure you understand. But when you look at them, they have no plan of going back to Nigeria. Their brain will never in any way deceive them to go back to Nigeria. But they will tell you they love Nigeria from abroad. All of now, where they sleep inside the darkness, where they have all the dreams of people where they come, we won't take your life. People won't take your destiny. They said that, my brother, be careful. This person, it just use your destiny. They say, which destiny? In this Nigeria. The destiny, where we say me, we get the destiny, no do anything for me. Person give me job. If they now they manage to take care of my family. If they manage to look like somebody. If they tell me say my destiny in they use. Share destiny, we know they useful. They have made sure that many of you destiny have become very, very useless, no longer useful. And it is true. These guys too, they are telling you, even though they seem educated, in fact, well, their education is like a course. But they are not coming back to Nigeria. They are those who are willingly ready, the willing slave abroad, Abroadian Abobakus. Give them $20. Okay, make it $25. They go mobilize them for you. In London, in America, anywhere where you want them. They can create the nuisance. They are not different from those Bambi Allah in Abuja that you pay 1,000 naira to, even though they are living in a country where they suffer enough to actually feed themselves. They beg to feed. You know what I mean? When they are offered 1,000 naira, they will tell you, on your pampas we shall shout. Remember that song? On your pampas we'll sharpie. Bola on your pampas. Bola on your pampas. Kolu on your pampas. We shall poo. 1,000 naira in Nigeria. They are abroad too. And you'll be wondering, what the hell? I mean, $40 to go and sing the praises of criminals who chased you out of Nigeria, turned you to prayer warriors at different embassies, turned you into many job workers. All of you now, where even get normal job for Nigeria. You join abroad, you became a lot there. People will turn your life upside down, separated your family. You are abroad now. You they do rally for them. No be madness be that. They are here. They are watching me. Patriotic Nigerians abroad. Give them something. But you know those ones who are smart, who organizes those things, right? Those ones are called the Bele lecturers. Everything they know. And it's true. Everything you are saying is true, Mayeku. But what we are saying is that we all need to come together and work and make sure our as then they use your head for Nigeria. Let us go and protest and support Ashiwaju so that they can give me appointments. Let us go and support this and all of that. Then they do them abroad, though. There are people here that, they were forced to accept the life of responsibility abroad. They were not cut out for that. If you are from Nigeria, where nobody wants to take responsibility per se, when you join others abroad, it's going to be a little bit strange that you would have to be responsible. You'll be responsible for your own bill. You'll be responsible for everything around you. And if you go out of the order, you will get fined or you'll even be jailed. So those criminals who escaped from the hell old Nigeria, they put scheme up in abroad as well. Call Nigerians, let us go to, we love our country. Let us go and show that we love our country. I am the leader. They don't bring their camera and say, I am the leader who organized Nigerians for Ashiwaju in London. They see Nigerians for Ashiwaju in London that had no plan of going back to Nigeria, except if they call him or her. I like your face, so God bless you. Chinelo. Chinelo, Chinelo. I like your face, so APC, when APC begin to sing your praise. Chinelo, Chinelo. Chinelo in London. It's not like other IPOB. It's not like other Igbos. Chinelo, Chinelo. Yeah. She is a very amazing Nigerian from abroad. If they call Chinelo to come and get an appointment, she's coming back here. So you will need some mofos. You will need some brainless morons, waste lives. Those who will always live in denial. They're plenty for abroad. Sometimes you don't need to pay them. They are already available. But those who are smarter are called Bele lecturers. They are smart, they are intelligent, they can speak. Some of them have good, good facials and all of that, everything to go with it and all that. But there's something you must remember. Before they use you, make you use your head. Something chased you out of Nigeria. You can't dare abroad. You they join the protest to say, on your pampas we shall shout. See your life? Use your brain. Use your brain. If you no use your brain, somebody else go use you. Before you use me, I go use my brain. So some people who felt bad, so that you don't become this kind of people, you know, go abroad, escape from Nigeria, come dress up in code to go and, you know what I mean, to go and shout on your mandate in London. Meanwhile, you have managed to, not only that you have managed to get yourself out of Nigeria because of the criminals ruining Nigeria, you are suffering in the UK as well, to the point that you are bringing your families. Everybody, majority of them have brought their family down here. But because of social media validation, the Yoruba local, Yoruba Ronu, Yoruba Ponus, and look at them. They were there to shout, on your mandate, we shall serve. People organize protests to show their displeasure against the criminals ruining Nigeria that sent you out of Nigeria. Then you couldn't like go ahead and organize your own solidarity elsewhere or another day. Because they are Agberos. If to send at Lagos, they go bring bottles, they go bring cutlass, they go begin to attack people. They will say they are defending their own drug lord. Imagine somebody, Papa, abroad, despite everything that we all know, and you put yourself out there and say you are defending a drug dealer, you are defending a drug lord, you are defending a certificate forger. So yeah, as una mad for Nigeria, we get them here too. But listen, they say in this life, nothing is a waste. Sure you get. If you want to waste your life, Baba, it's your choice. Okay? It's not a waste per se. Sure you get. If you want to be useful with your life, great. If you want to be useless with your life, great. Both of you can be used as an example. They will say, why don't you be like that Mayegu? A very brilliant, sharp-minded young man, and very successful too. Why don't you just be like him? People, they use me to ask their own children, why can't you just be like Mayegu? Why can't you be like that young man? Here you go. Emi omo to fin juwe omo to fin share example for mo. That is Mayegu. I am that kind of a child that other parents uses as a good example for their own children. Why don't you be like Mayegu? He's just a young man like you. You know what I mean? Good example. Then if you turn around and become Tinubu the drug dealer, or you waste your life, or you make useless of your life, it's not a waste too. They can use you and say, Shay, do you want your life to be like that person? We are telling you, I am telling you, I am warning you, I am doing everything, you this child. Shay, you want to end up like all those people who go abroad, they do protest, they do rally to defend the criminals who send them abroad, who chase them out of Nigeria in the first place. Do you want your life to be as useless as them? I don't mind make my life useless. So if my life go day useless, maybe go day useless in London. You don't want that. You are not that man. You are not that guy. I live here, and it is not one of the lives I actually kind of encourage anybody. Here you get the life of deceit, the life of denial, the life that is always full of regret. You always ask those where they defend the Bukwari. How many of them came back with Bukwari disappointed us? But disappointment, you can only pretend to live in denial for a while. But when the camera is off, when everybody don't go home, when it becomes just you go tell yourself the truth. Bumayegun abuse me, say whatever you like about me. It doesn't change anything. When you are done with all of that, when the reality of Nigeria hits you, you go tell yourself the truth. Only why were useless that broad? No, why not? I can use you like this, guys, and say, whose guys, whose children are these ones? Whose papa are these ones? They are there to defend a certificate forger in London. They are there to defend a drug dealer in London. So show me your friend. And I will easily tell you who you are. I will. But nevertheless, the clash of the Agbadorians and other Nigerians who felt like the Supreme Court shouldn't be legalizing criminals. There is a guy who was there who had to share the story of Tinubu and all of that. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? But look at them. Yeah, Jijo Yakawo on your mandate. Look at them. I'm coming back to that. So easily you can see those who are probably drug peddlers, bunch of criminals who escaped from Nigeria, and here we are. They couldn't keep it to themselves. They will have to come out and identify with the ruiners of Nigeria. So when you see them or you have them as your neighbors all over the UK, you can see all their faces, okay? We'll come back to that. Here is somebody speaking at the event.
He has judiciary on his side, he has executive, he has established a full state capture, and no one can do anything anymore in Nigeria. It's as bad as that. And people are so scared to come out there. There is hunger in the land already. The economy is dwindling. So people are so scared to come out there and make some noise. They don't know what's going to happen. Last year, or was it some years ago, 2 years ago to be precise, some people went out there to protest against, some bad practices by the police force called SARS. 2 years ago, called SARS. And they were killed, they were shot at by the military and the police. Such atrocity. Such terrible things that happen in Nigeria. And we are saying enough is enough. We can't remain guard. And if they think they will keep our people guard back to them, we are more than determined. We are more than determined. Whatever it will take, we are gonna keep protesting for them across the globe. In Canada, in the US, in Australia, in Germany, in the UK. We are going to continue protesting for as long as our strength can carry on. But we want to make it clear and establish that fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a rogue.
Yes.
He doesn't qualify, just like someone said. I wouldn't maybe take him so low as a cleaner, but he doesn't even qualify to be a secretary because he doesn't have the necessary requirements. Everything he has in the UK, everything he has is fraudulent, from his name to his certificate to most other things. We don't know who he is. And we cannot continue this way in Nigeria. Things are going back. Nigeria is so blessed. We are blessed with the best of things. Human resources, natural resources, determined men and ladies, industrious human beings, very gallant human beings. Anything you can think of, we have it in Nigeria. Look at our people. Look at the wonderful. If you come to music, we are overtaken everywhere. We have the wonderful whiskey, but we are all doing well across the globe. We have other representatives. We have the doctors, the teachers. We have the lawyers. We have people doing very well in their respective fields in the UK. And you all know this. BBC knows this. BBC knows that Nigerians are industrious people. BBC knows that Nigerians cannot, in their best interest, elect a rogue as a president. And what they do is to go out there on the news to support him, to say that his certificate is failed. We do not expect this from the BBC. Look at the Prime Minister of the UK. The Prime Minister of the UK is a perfect gentleman. Look at the previous leaders of the UK. Well-learned individuals. People that you can put out there. People that you can be proud of. And what do? They support such atrocities in Nigeria where fraud and every other thing goes on. Probably because they want a puppet. I think that's the only thing that explains it. They want someone that can control. I would say that nothing would happen. It's high time we start saying these things. It's high time we start. BBC knows that Tinubu forged a certificate in Chicago State University. I do not know who he is. I do not know who went on air to say that the certificate is real. But we challenge them any day, anytime to call us to BBC to discuss these things, and I will leave it at that. But what we are saying here is that Nigeria doesn't have a truly democratic president. We are still in an autocratic setting. We need to establish that fact here, and everybody needs to know that. I will stop it here. Probably some other day we'll talk more about these things, probably on the studio.
Don't do well, brother. Well done. At least the There is no hiccup, and your message was very clear. The Agberos don't talk. What do they want to talk? They brought band sets. They brought megaphone because they wanted noise over facts. And there's no amount of noise or amount of people you have to pay to do all of that nonsense that will actually take. You are not so many. You're not. And the rogues in Nigeria will continue to do what they know how to do best. Ruin things. So you see why you are never going to get away or get us to shut up. We are organizing a very, very massive global rally. I'm keeping it to my chest, but when it is completely matured, you are going to see real people. And to those who might think, why are you doing it abroad? Why don't you come back home? Well, if you are home, you don't need anybody to motivate you to actually do yours. But again, I keep it here. At the same venue, somebody also spoke.
David Adejesu, I'm from Lagos State, Yoruba. Yes, I support this program because anytime this current president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it's not from Lagos State. It's from Iragbegi. Omo Iragbegi, or the former governor, Bagudu, Tola, their cousin. And then, because those are what leader like Bagudu and Co. They know all more potential because this man does not win the primary. The primary in 1999. He did not win it. Wale primary 1999. Funchal Williams lo wale. But in that one Safuna Deko, one low lower, Ogba was silly, Iloyinbo, where Kila very compensated. They used that one to compensate him. After that, saying that Wale to Elekini, our Baba is on pay wa, going to buy his papa shaking lele. To repay a white Kuda. Bring another no more Baba Sokpe. That means this Baba, they don't have much again to control him, to tell him what is right. Oh, Baba Bramade Soya, or Dogiti Gbogbo. The former spokesman of Refinery, Joro Dumakin. There's a lot of things that this man has committed. A lot of crime. But lágbára Ọlọ́run gbogbo ìgbìyànjú wa Ọlọ́run máa ti wá lẹ́yìn.
Amen.
Ọgbẹ́ni yìí ò gbọ́dọ̀ lọ.
Yes, by force.
And then we want British government, American government to support us. To bá jẹ́ pé lóòótọ́ they love Africa. Because they get a lot of from Africa.
Sir, if you are watching, no, they don't love Africa. Don't deceive yourself. Nobody loves Africa. Okay? None of them does. All right? So let's put it at that. And what did the Agberos do? The Agberos that escaped from the zoo. Look at them. You don't want to be like that, do you? Eh? But it is the UK, so everybody can coexist, no fight, no nothing. But as they say, you cannot shame the shameless. You can't shame the shameless. It's unfortunate. Don't waste it. You get one guy. Look at this one, though. That is the next governor of Kogi State. That's Yeye Bello. Yeye Bello is going to force on the people of Kogi in a week time. Take a look at your next governor, Kogi people. If you not they pray, now you go know say your situation is beyond prayer. Just like Nigeria's situation is completely beyond prayer. Don't take offense. So nothing is beyond prayer. This Nigeria own is beyond prayer. Mamba me argue. People will normal to be like this.
We want to show you that I am a good man of the dome. I am a married woman. I am responsible.
Some said he's probably going to be the first married woman to be the governor of Kogi State. That's sarcasm, isn't it? I won't with it, only the one here. Those are the weirdest that are leading them. And once they begin to deal with them, they will begin to ask us that we are the people. Hey, can you do it better? Are you better than him? Me better than that one. You see? The worst of the worst are those who are running Nigeria and ruining it. The enablers. There's no fight, too. Because the other day, they said that Yeye Bello, this, not the other day, I think it was this afternoon, they said that Yeye Bello has paid the WAEC fee for 15,088 students. Guess how much he paid? $475 million. I mean, Naira, rather. 475 million Naira. That would sound like about it. My God, that's a good thing now. These guys don't do good thing. I mean, 15,000 students. The WAEC form, 18,000 Naira. People don't do the math, though. And the total is not 475 million Naira. You too can do the math. They can't say 222 million is extra. Is that one service charge or service charges? Devil give you chicken. You say you call your friend, say you do birthday. You don't know that when devil give you chicken, now a old child or even probably your whole life is going to probably demand for. There is a saying around that, by the way. Robbing people blind when you could actually do good. Sure you get. So another Samu is coming on to the government also for Kogi. They are everywhere like that. Oh, I just thought you should see that one. Oh. Because Nigeria is not a real place. If somebody come and said, we are one Nigeria, am I going to stop all this? You know, when people come to me, listen to this one. When I say things, when I say what I know, and then one lunatic, I be one weary from God knows from this Adam's earth, yeah, being called this, you know. We just come from nowhere. Am I going to stop all this? Stop all this. Let us all come together. Nigeria is in one country. We are all one united country. And I say, Ogun. We are going to waste a lay down on you. If if they couldn't have used him or her for what do they call that thing that is it the ovulation something or whatever anyway, like you flush you want to come up with a create nuisance. Like I am talking about things that are actually true and they are contributing massively to the state of divided Nigeria you have today. You turn around and you say, am I going to stop all this nonsense, Jari? Let us come together. Yeah, what is one Nigeria? Where did you see that? In your head? A country where you have 2 laws. One for the north, one for the rest of Nigeria. I mean, the first law, which is Nigeria law, says as a Nigerian, I can live anywhere I want. I can, I can live anywhere. I can do any business anywhere I want, as long as it is legitimate under the law. If I cross border, enter Kano, they don't cut off my head because I won't sell Nigerian beauty products, alcohol. Kano, abi northern Nigeria, no be what they call them, no be Saudi Arabia. Sure you get. But they celebrate destruction of people's businesses because of Sharia, because of Allah, and because alcohol is going to contribute to sin. Alcohol is sin. Alcohol is haram. But when it comes to alcohol money, value-added tax, because Nigeria is a place where they rob Peter to pay Paul. They take all the resources from the southern Nigeria and then they share the money to the rest of Nigeria. The northern Nigeria takes highest of it because they are bigger. Oh, they have more population. Desert. Sure, you understand? Whether the money is coming from Olosho job, whether it is coming from alcohol, whether it is coming from selling people's kidney, it no be haram as long as it is naira, abi dollar. The hypocrite will take it. That's one Nigeria. Sites like this, they are regular in Nigeria. Sites like this. And they will be shouting, Allah Akbar! In that same one country. And you're telling me you have one Nigeria. Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Nigeria, do you know what somebody is going to advise you? You yourself, at least you know that northern Nigeria is a Sharia. You shouldn't take alcohol there, but guess the region with the pandemic of a drug abuse. Guess. Northern Nigeria. It is pandemic. Drug abuse. Housewives. Children. Completely off. Gone. Because of drugs. I'm not making that up. At least you go look around. Awomu Allah. Children of Allah, children of Islam, children who are going, you know what I mean? Children of those who are not infidel. Go and see them. Young people running mad, shoko and all of that stuff. Epidemic in northern Nigeria. But you see pictures and frame like that, yeah? Where they are destroying alcohol. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. In that same one country, you know what people will tell you? In one Nigeria, you have no take alcohol to northern Nigeria. You know they don't like it. Voluntary slave. Can't we just break everything up? Make them kuku they do their Sharia in Arewa, Abi Nigeristan. They collect alcohol money. They go take alcohol money, take and organize a mass wedding for people who don't get job. Joblessness, unemployment, which has contributed greatly to the terrorism in northern Nigeria, is epidemic in that place. But they are not using that alcohol money and all that. So it's such a, you know what I mean? When they say they are doing all of this to help the poor, I say, okay, let me see where they are helping those poor people like this. Kogi lele, you know.
Number two. Number three. Number three. Number four. Number five. Number five. Number five. Number five. Number five. Number six.
Collecting their voters' cards before they will give them a tin of rice and 1,000 naira. That's how they are poor, the poor people. And that is how they want to lift 100 million poor people out of poverty in Nigeria. Shall you understand? A joke, isn't it? Well, Peter Obi, the man that they said, but what thing go do different? What is it? It was caught somewhere in the week, just this week. And his own advice was like, you know what? People should just stop stealing. I did it. I didn't steal. I'm not a saint, but at least I didn't steal. And I was able to do this or that. Only if these people can stop stealing, watch them abuse him. Or even I'll watch you abuse him. Watch this.
You always see me say, people, I'm not a saint, but I'm not a criminal. I have never knowingly do anything that is wrong. Knowingly. If I know it's wrong, I won't do it. I've served the state. I've served in the private sector. And today we're going through difficulties. There's nothing wrong with Nigeria. Nigeria has one of the best in terms of land, one of the best in terms of weather, one of the best in terms of God-given resources, and one of the best people. The only thing God has not given Nigeria is leadership. If we have good leaders, we will do better. If you compare Nigeria, and I said to myself, I want to just compare Nigeria with the 3 biggest countries in Europe. And I can tell you, we have more resourceful young people because we have more resourceful youths than 3 of them have. But when you now compare our economy, if you put the economy of the 3 of them together, Germany with a GDP of 4.4 trillion, UK with a GDP of about 3.3 trillion, and France with about 3.03 trillion, you're getting over 10 trillion, and we are about 400. So they are 25 times more. Why? Because we have a leadership that where we engulf with waste and consumption, no production. The rest assured, if we get it right, we'll build a better life. And all of us are involved. We must stop people from stealing public money. It is a must. We must stop people from wasting public money. It is not their private money. And all of us are involved. You must not celebrate them. All you are. 100 years from today, we'll all be covered with white cloth. So what are you acquiring for? Why are you abusing the grace of God when people are suffering?
A very big one, right? Like, what do they want to do with all the money? What does Tinubu want to do with a yacht? The same yacht that Jonathan rejected, Bokwari rejected. It got to the turn of Tinubu, he approved it. Even before he was sworn in, he said, I will take it. And immediately, he was sworn in. They took delivery of the yacht. And they are now saying, no, it is for the Navy. Shebatu ship ni. Shebatu ship ni. They are buying him a 10 million US dollars yacht. And it's already delivered. They've already made deposits. They needed to add more to the money. The $5 billion they budgeted is like, 5 billion naira is like $5 million. So they say that is creating a problem now. So you are consuming everything. They are consuming everything that they can lay their hands on and everything. You know what I mean? Why they are telling the people to wait for a reform. Reform where they will launch it. You believe that they do reform? Oh, my show. Reform will call. Reformatini. I'll tell you one thing. Why Nigeria must break up. This one is very important too because I almost forgot. Every time, every day, people go to talk, say Nigeria is a rich country. Nigeria is a rich country. Nigeria is supposed to be a rich country. No. Nigeria can never be a rich country. Sure, you understand? Because Nigeria is not rich. We have crude oil. We have resources. We are no. Calm down. Okay. Look at UAE. They have petrol. It's not the same petrol we have that Saudi Arabia has. It's not the same petrol that Baba Moniko, calm down, sir. Calm down. Nigeria is a poor country. Very, very poor country. And the reason is because we are joined with Northern Nigeria. No apologies in case if you are watching me from Northern Nigeria. It's just facts. The criminals from Northern Nigeria, they have grown so comfortable over the years for the free money that is coming from the Southern Nigeria, especially the oil money. And that is why the money never served not the Northerners, not the Southerners who own the oil. Because they considered it as free money. In Saudi Arabia, where they are considered as one of the highest oil producers who pumps oil every day, and they know how much oil they are pumping every day. They have a company called Aramco, Saudi Aramco Abinco. That is their national petroleum company or national body. Every drop of oil that leaves Saudi Arabia, they account for it. Every penny that they make from it, they account for it. No abracadabra, no nothing, no. They know it. Then their population. What is the population of Saudi Arabia? Help me. Or UAE, Dubai? They have their own body that is monitoring their natural resources. Every penny that everything that goes out of their land, every penny that comes back from it is accounted for. If you don't, you get killed. If you steal, you get killed. That's their own way. You can't steal from them. And what is their population? Then take a look at Nigeria. We have oil. And what is your population? 200 million. And take a look at Libya. People know they pay school fees. They don't pay this. If you graduate in Libya, you are going to get a job. Gaddafi is going to blah, 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 blah. What was the population of Libya? Nigeria is a big for nothing fraud whose citizens are destined for doom. And it is not even like a wish. Then you now have a cost leaders who cannot even still use their resources for the huge population. Maybe if they have been investing it in the real people over these years, you can begin to feel like, okay, yeah, Nigeria is a blessed country, it's a rich country. Nigeria is not. The corruption is so huge. That it will break your heart to continue to compare yourself with all these oil producing countries and the people that are actually scheming from it. And you will see where you have lost it. The real resources that Nigeria could have had is the people, the population. That would have made Nigeria United States of Africa. Like the United States of America, you have the right. Nigeria would have been like that. You see all those resources, natural, gas, and all those things, they are just extra to what investing in your own people could make. China is a good example. Utilizing your own population for your own economic and country growth. Look at China again. And then to look at China. Again, look at China and look at Nigeria. So there you are. We are a rich country, we just have bad leaders. No, you are not a rich country. They made you believe that. No, you're not. If they stop stealing your crude oil money for the next 100 years, Nigeria won't still be a rich country. It would at least be a better country. Why do we have to share in that misery when everybody can actually go their separate ways? And that crude oil in Niger Delta will be enough for everyone from that Niger Delta to develop themselves. The crude oil, the liquid natural gas in Biafra land can actually be used for the population of the Biafran people to their own development. The crude oil, the natural gas, and every other thing in Western Nigeria, Yoruba land, can actually be used for the population of that Yoruba land, just the same way they are using their resources to develop Saudi Arabia, develop Kuwait, develop UAE, develop all these places that you've always wanted to compare yourselves with without doing a diligent comparison. Nigeria is not put together to serve you, and that is why it will never be a rich country, ever. Don't tell your children that. Stop telling them that Nigeria is a rich country, only caused with bad leaders. The second statement may be right, caused with bad leaders who have made it permanently possible that Nigeria is a poor country. Because take a look at the citizens. You get the message. I'm going to go back to where Obi was talking. He has more. Maybe you should listen.
Nigeria. And I told him, I said, I want to just compare Nigeria with the 3 biggest countries in Europe. The number 1 biggest economy in Europe is Germany, followed by the UK, followed by France. These 3 countries, if you compare them with Nigeria in land size, they are just about 20%, about that, bigger than Nigeria when you put 3 of them together. Because if you put 3 of them together today, I know Germany is about 350-something thousand, 357, France at 551,000, and UK at 243,000. If you put the 3 of them together, you have about 1,152,000 square kilometers. Nigeria is 923,000 square kilometers. So in terms of land size, it's about the same thing. If you talk about your population, UK is about 67 million. France is about 64 million. And Germany is about 84 million. 3 of them put together is about 216 million. And Nigeria is about 216 million. Just Nigeria. And I can tell you, we have more resourceful young people because we have more resourceful youth than three of them have. But when you now compare our economy, if you put the economy of the three of them together, Germany with a GDP of 4.4 trillion, UK with a GDP of about 3.3 trillion, and France with about 303 trillion, you're getting over 10 trillion, and we're about 400. So they are 25 times more. Wow.
Because that fund is in the pocket of private people. Stop stealing. That's why I said stop. Maybe if they stop stealing, they won't stop stealing until they are stoned. Amechi said that. Amechi said, we will never stop stealing until you stone us. But who get delivered to stone them? Maybe not many. So they will continue to steal. Therefore, Obi's advice is a waste. Because they would have to continue. Stealing it is. Similar nayi àbí kí lórúkọ wèrè yẹn concept. Similar nayi, which is a SIM card of River State versus Were Wike, the Kwere, Obiakpo, Little Hitler. They said they met with Tinubu to try and settle the fight for them, that they won't have to kind of go mad that way. So, similarly, whatever. SIM card, the Rivers came out to say he has now settled with Were Wike. Papa and Pikin the fights. We don't settle them and all of that stuff. So Were Wike said, what is wrong if I say I want to collect 20 billion naira every month? What is wrong in that? When I was campaigning for SIM, when I was going everywhere, doing everything, buying phones for all of them, did anybody say, did anybody have a problem with me paying for all of that? So why are they having problem if I say I want to collect 20, even if I say I want to collect 20 billion every month? Don't I deserve it? Then he had a message. That is a Were Wike. Were Wike said he has a message for all of now. The Mekamite, Abi Mekanite, SPV boys, and the obedient. He said all of now are just angry and jealous because he no support Atiku and Obi. Okay? There is structure in River State. Is his life. If anybody taking structure like similarly want to take it, he would have to fight because that would be him over and finished, done. And it's not going to go down without a fight. So all of them, they wish say, me see me, abi simu, to show him shege. Mokuna just make sure say, Sim no miss so. If Sim shoot, make him no miss so. Because if he miss, he could buy. With a weekend, listen.
I know in politics. Oh, they say they should bring in 20 billion every month. Because somebody don't give you 20 billion. Oh, they say you want to award the whole country by yourself. That's politics. But nobody said this when I was fighting. Nobody said that. So, if you like, accuse me from here to... I won't even have a sleepless night. Because as far as I'm concerned, the right thing must be done. All of us want to be politically relevant. All of us want to maintain our political structure. So, before you left this country, you had your political structure. Will you allow anybody to just cut you out immediately? Who is that? Everybody has a base, it's not true. Yes, sir. If take my base. I'm not politically relevant. You can turn it to economic anything you want to say. It's your business. At the appropriate time, we will know who's right. I will know who's wrong. Thank you for coming.
So that is a very wiki. You know what I mean? But they are currently saying that similarly, somebody said that similar. I don't even know what I called him. I just checked his name, and he said similar, fuck man. Similar Naya, something like that. I don't want to call his name badly, so I just said similarly. You know, I don't want to. And similarly means that he's similar to Willie Wicked, so his boss, his godfather, so you can say similarly. You know? Another person says sensima. Somebody can even say sensima mokon. Sensima mokon is that take out. It's a street language, and it's very old. The Barot is Sake Kamoru. God rest his soul, by the way. He's dead now. Sake Kamoru asfekwe Oma sentima mokon. You know what I mean? Oma sentima. Anyway, that is me coming slowly and slowly to the end of the broadcast. I'm so sorry I didn't take calls. I just thought that let's just have that fun all night, you know, sit down there, laugh some, think some. Some will even like cry and say, my as you are talking, I don't know. I mean, I just felt emotional. I say, Esha Nisu. That is why Mayegun's Diary Politico is like a roller coaster of a program. Okay? So you can go here and here and here and here, but eventually it's going to be worth it. You get what I mean? You know, I just don't know why person go to cry when I do program. Like, people are emotional. Here you get. And I respect your emotion. So don't let it out. You know that they will say, come on. Say, come on, let it out. Say, come on, let it out. Say, don't hold it, don't wait. Come on, let it out. Say, wait, why you they cry? When my ego got to that program, I couldn't hold it anymore. I said, take it easy, Sometimes you just have to brace up. That's why I make sure that it is a roller coaster of a program. You suddenly find somebody who was teary earlier, or somebody who is angry. You know, they just stand up from their program and say, yes, Mayegun. God bless you, Mayegun. I'm angry. If I catch them today, I say, Baba, calm down. No. You need to take it easy. So in order to make sure that, you know what I mean, it's not just one-way traffic. I kind of mix that up. You smile, you laugh. It's not because it is funny. No. I'm not a funny guy. Mayegun is very funny. I'm glad I made you laugh. But the situation is not funny. We all know it's not. And that is why I'm not good at laughing. And you see me laugh like a in your own eye, and that's the person they laugh. Is that a normal laugh? So when you see me laugh or I say something that cracks you up and all of that stuff, I'm glad I am able to kind of get you kind of, jig it a bit before we continue. In reality, you know, the other time when they beat the chairman of, president of NLC rather, when I saw his face, I knew that they could only beat a thief like that. But when they said that it was done in Imo State and it had the hand of the governor, well, that makes sense, because ordinary person would not just suddenly just attack the president of the Nigerian Workers Union without any repercussion. Some were laughing when they saw his face. I'm not going to show you that again. Because if he was my own father, Baba, forget all these things we are talking. If they beat my papa like that, kilo day, in thief, on top waiting. Even if we want to rough and but you can't beat her like person will steal something. Like, I was upset on his behalf. Some others were laughing, and I said, please don't be like that. especially when you know those who were after or who did it. Sure, you get. As I was feeling is exactly how others were feeling. I didn't know that they are going to call a national strike because the president of NLC got beaten. I was like, well, that's even worth it. But some people are wondering, like, what did they worry these people? Because they beat Ajero. You say you want to take them abroad. Now you want to start a nationwide strike. What you go tell everybody say we want strike for? They say Nigeria is on strike because the president of the workers was beating blue, black, blue, blue, bala, blue in Imo State because they mistaken for person who can't steal ballot box. I mean, you cannot even beat a ballot box a snatcher like that. I know that in me being. I want back with you. Nigeria don't spoil be that. You can't beat my papa like that. And I won't turn to a shekau. Shekau. Person we go to carry. You know allergy shekau now. But these guys are probably just feeling like Nigeria must pay for it. They are going on strike. Last warning.
The Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress of Nigeria resolve as follows. 1. The Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command, CP Ahmed Bade, should not only be investigated and redeployed out of Imo State for his serious complicitious and unprofessional behavior and conduct immediately. 2. The area command of Nigerian Police Force and all other officers and men in Owerri, through whom the police commissioner supervised the brutalization and humiliation of Comrade Agero and other workers, be relieved of his office and stripped of its commission. 3. Mr. Nwaneri Chinasa, advisor on special duty, who supervised the terror on workers and partial brutality meted to the corporate president, Comrade Joe Agero, be arrested immediately and prosecuted for his crime against workers and the president. 4. We demand an immediate, independent, and unbiased, thorough professional medical examination of Comrade Agero in light of his physical and psychological injuries inflicted upon him. 5. Other workers and journalists subjected to his inhuman treatment by the police and the Hope Uzodima's group be treated by the states and all the properties lost be restored immediately. All outstanding industrial relations issues, as preciously agreed in the Imo State government, be
I get you, Jare Baba. I smile in Comrade Ajero. Smile. Now the chairman of, now the president of NNPC be that one normal gone. Like, you don't need any medical test to know the state of beating them, beat this man. Intori kini, what he do? He carry ballot box. Show back what he diboni. Show rig election ni. Show. Olorobuni cannot the president workers that is the barbaric country. Being controlled by barbaric people. And what do you have? Barbarism. Princess, Iberibeism, abi? Iberibeism. That is Nigeria for you. Even though surely Nigeria, man, I have people who said they're supposed to break in 2 legs. I said, hey, the man, why can't you show sympathy? Why you gonna leave sympathy and empathy, Jari? They don't pay him. He go they protest. They promise us he won't protest in Abuja. Then they will do meeting and he will postpone it. Now only this guy who has the power to actually make the ruiners of Nigeria to actually shake. But no. I said, but them burning, they burnt his house on top of this presidency of NLC. things they happen. Show empathy, show sympathy. Hero, I'm not saying they should kill him. So that he go can't day wish here. What about internal bleeding? Because you're not to do a wuto. He's not smiling, no. Some of you would think saying they smile for photo. Go smile, yo. Now the beating shaping face, so you can't look like saying they smile for camera. It's not smiling, no. So imagine what they did to him up to this point. Do you think if they do scanning, inside no go red past this one? Do you think so? That if they do scan, that face will look like saying they smile. If they scan them from inside, do you know other injuries? So Ejekama show sympathy. Let's show, we shouldn't become what we are condemning. It's really important. So now they're going to shut down Nigeria. They're going to go on strike on the 6th of November. Okay. 6 to 8, Abby. So they say everybody should go and buy food, stockpile food and all of that. They wanted the commissioner side. They want Chinasa arrested. The one that actually pointed said, "Nine be that, 90 Shama be that." That guy where they were it. Then beat NLC president to the point that somebody who is in pain, on they look like person with a smile. Sir, chairman is strong. I mean, president, you are very strong. You are a very strong man, sir. You know, I mean, if I was the one they beat like that, I mean, if I don't die, you are a very strong man. You see, you are even smiling. Now, Jero go say, see, comrade, I'm not smiling. Okay, I'm not smiling. I'm in pain. My face may look like I'm smiling. I'm not smiling. Well, anyway, they are going to have to shut down Nigeria if they don't sack those people who are responsible for humiliating and assaulting the president of the Nigerian workers. Is there any worse thing they cannot do? Is that something that they can't really do? Then beat your oga. You can't do solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our right. Soli. I hope you make what do you call it? Realistic your threats. We will look forward to the 8th of November and see how this goes. Tinubu no even send them. Say, we condemn the office of condemn the beating of the president of the NLC. No. Condemn Bao. Something that is state sanctioned. And they are saying that he is lucky. They're supposed to beat him. You know, when I was in Nigeria, he gets some beatings. Sure, you guys see, Aluki Lamangpe. There will be no blood, there will be nothing. Your face could be all right. Alukini. The only strength where you go get now the strength to waka go your house. Now the following day, they goes, hey, Shubulu Jadonda, yo. Kiloshe. Was he sick? No. He came home last night, yo. And then he complained about a back pain. And we said he should go and rest small. We don't know what happened to him. You know that kind of thing. Aluki ni umalokusileni. And I believe that Anna Aluki then used on that Ajero. That's why they said after he got home, they discovered that they would have to take him abroad to go and get medical treatment. There's no hospital that can take care of him in Nigeria with the level of the beating. So yeah, if nothing is done, and as some of you are saying that Adukbel, we thank God though, we thank God they no beat him, they no kill him. Thank God they no kill him. You go get treatment and the rest of that too. That was when the breaking news also came. Kilo to Dubai into Riolo. Can't you just let us have some peace for some few minutes in this Nigeria? Peace Mayegun. The Minister of Power, the son of Penkele Messi, Adebayo Adelabu, he was flying a flying coffin. Now, so the plane dropped from the sky like saying a kite where lost its control. You know those kites? And then, the thread cut off. You begin to chase your kite. Hey, now my kite leader, you start running after it. Hey, you don't hang for the NEPA pole. But this time around, it's not actually a kite. It is a private jet conveying the Minister of Power to his home state, right? After the retreat of a minister's retreat. Now, do so. Benkele Messi. And this guy that takes shank all those people, we be say the voluntary slaves of your state. The guy left APC, go join another party, lost election, when it was time for them to start sharing position and then give power. Others, they go kill you, especially Teslim Balogun. Now, people are now saying that if anybody won't get appointment, Adebayo will have to be out of the way. She in a private jet, let him have Adebayo, a passive plane crash. Failure, corruption was almost claimed the life of the Minister of Power today when a supposed aviation company who has no commercial license, which means the license they have is not to fly commercial, what have you, but they have tens of such aircraft operating in Nigeria today. Okay, they were not thoroughly indeed. I mean, you know, those ICAO certification and all that, take them through all the proper procedure, standard aircraft, regular training for staff, what do you call it? Emergency trainings, and all of those things that will actually make you a commercial airline. They don't have them. But most of these kind of aircraft are flying in Nigeria today. You want to do big man. You don't make you go Nigeria, you go hire private jets that can take you everywhere in Nigeria because God don't bless you, Baba. You may tell people, say they come Abuja, Koje, you deliver no go to Abuja in your private jet that you just hired. Koje Ojure Ikosa in Odogbolu, they go find you. And people for Odogbolu in Auguste go come, they say, hey, plane they don't fall again. No, these people they say that they go Abuja, they don't find themselves for what do you call it? Ojure Ikosa. Or you go tell them say they go Abuja to Akwa Ibom. They will come, they look for your plane inside the Sambisa forest because it don't drop there. Enough it go again. And somebody said that maybe if it took the life of the elite, maybe they would do something right. Corruption could have killed your Minister of Power today. And if there are those who believe that, now some evil people won't kill, no evil people. There is no evil that exists that is worse than corruption, because corruption is evil. Where people would have to cut corners, where people will have to shortchange the system. What majority of you may not know is this. When right thing is not done, when corruption takes shape where they have to kind of cut corners, when the round peg are not being put in the round hole, what you will have is that human tragedy, lives can be lost. And that is how worse corruption is. Money meant for the construction of healthcare facilities that could take care of millions of people. If it's ended up in the pocket of those who are going to use it to buy properties in Dubai or buy properties in America or all over the place. Now, you see those millions of people that will need healthcare, they won't have it. Now, corruption will kill them because they won't have access to that healthcare. That's what corruption does. It's more evil than all the evils you know. But because Nigerians don't hate corruption, they just don't like it if they are not the one benefiting from that corruption. I'll leave it at that. If not, I feel take una enter another hour. So let's leave it at that, and I will see you some other time. Enjoy your evening, okay? Like the broadcast, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will see you some other time. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. Máyégún Diary politico. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Máyégún máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Máyégún máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Máyégún máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Máyégún máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Máyégún máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Máyégún máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Máyégún máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. ayé. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lérí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀lọ́mọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran.